What's up? So I want to talk about what everybody else been talking about for like the last day and a half. Russell Westbrook is now officially a member of the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul was traded. What's going on in the NBA? Like, I promise y'all, every day I wake up, I'm expecting somebody big to be traded. I'm like, well, damn, it's not enough big people left to get traded now, but little do I know, it's always somebody in the midst that's bound to get traded or bound to get moved. Right? What do I think about the Russell Westbrook acquisition? What does that mean for the Houston Rockets? First thing that came to my mind is I was thinking about when Scottie Pippen was on the show The Jump, right? And he was explaining, talking about the Houston Rockets fan base and the Houston Rockets organization. Scottie played 1 year there after his term with the Chicago Bulls ended. And he was saying that there's no pressure to win championships in Houston. What really they're really concerned about filling the seats up, having an exciting team to watch, a team that will compete, that will be competitive and will be entertaining and interesting. That is what that is what Russell Westbrook makes this Houston team. He makes them more attractive. He makes them more fun to watch. Yeah, they become a lot more explosive with him for sure. They're gonna be fun to watch. But will that ultimately culminate into a championship? The answer to that is no. Absolutely not. It won't. And I don't want to. And when I say this, man, I'm not trying to be harsh to Russell Westbrook because I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan. I'm a fan of his. I enjoy watching him play. He's one of the hardest. I've really never seen somebody play as hard as him for all 48 minutes. Seriously, he really loves the game, and he's exciting to watch. Dynamic, one of the most dynamic point guards we've ever seen outside of a healthy Derrick Rose, because D Rose is on another level before Russell ascended. But anyway, yeah, as fun as he is to watch, I just do not think that you can win a championship with Russell Westbrook as a main cog to your team. I just don't think his game translates to championship basketball. He's exciting for sure. He's gonna give you his all. He gonna slash to the bucket. He gonna get streaky at some points, but Russell doesn't have the best basketball IQ. Is in moments where I feel like his decision making should be better. It's not. He takes a lot of bad shots, and it's easy to trap Russell Westbrook into playing the game that you want him to play because he's so like I promise y'all, the things that have worked well for us to get to the league and be a superstar in the league is what works against him when it comes to ascending to that championship level. Right? For example, Russell, I remember when Damian Lillard was firing him up in the playoffs, right? And instead of like, okay, look, I'm going to attack Damian, I'm going to get him in foul trouble, I'm going to go to the cup because I know he can't stay in front of me. I don't think he can stay in front of me. I'm going to slash around him, I'm going to go to the basket with a head full of steam. This man, Russell Westbrook, tried to get into a shootout with Damian Lillard. And Russell's going to fail every single time he does that. And they baited him into doing that because Russell has this persona. Whatever you think I can't do, I'm going to prove you wrong. Even if it's in the midst of a game where they're trying to go deep into a playoff run. In the playoffs, ain't no time for one thing I can best you up or anything you can do I can do better. No, it's a time to be realistic. It's a time to have an actual game plan, and it's a time to execute the game plan. A game plan that will get you out of there with a W. Not an L. And Russell was sunk into trying to outshoot Damian, and they didn't win. It's like, Russell, you're not on that level to shoot like that. You're a streaky shooter at best. When you're hot, you're hot. When you off. And he shot 29% from three. So things like that lets me know that Russell, as fun as he is to watch, as much as I love Russ, I had him on my fantasy team, I still will watch him every single time he plays because he's fun to watch. But he does not translate to championship basketball the same way Allen Iverson didn't. Let me tell y'all something, man. I loved Allen Iverson. Loved AI. Like, that was my guy. Just like Russell is. But AI was my guy. That's my dog. I rode with him time and time again. But it was at a point, I promise I was young too, I realized that Allen Iverson was never going to win a championship. I realized that. I knew he was not going to win a championship. I knew his game did not translate to championship basketball. And I lived with it. I lived with it because he was just that entertaining to watch. And I couldn't take my eyes off of him on the court. Same with Russ. can't take my eyes off of him on the court. Every time he's on TV, I gotta watch him. But I know it's not going to translate to championship winning basketball. Now add him with James Harden. How will that work? I know they played together for 3 years in Oklahoma City, but their roles were rather different. James was coming off the bench. Russell was playing second fiddle to Kevin Durant, and he wasn't even a star. He was really like an underrated guy that people was like, hey, he's special, but we don't look at him as a top tier guard. Now, these two young men are MVPs themselves. And while I don't think they will have a problem playing with each other, I think their games just won't mesh well at all. These are two guys that have high usage rates. They both have to have the ball in their hands to make something happen. What's going to happen like when one person has the ball and the other is standing in the corner? If they let Russell Westbrook be the true point guard, you think James going to sit in the corner and wait for his time to shoot? I don't think so. Reverse wise, even if you put, and I really think they should keep James at the point and put Russ at the 2. But even if they do that, right? Like, Russ not a shooter. He's not. It's not his game. And yeah, he can slash, he can score, but it's like, nah, that 2 guard spot, I'm looking at dudes that like to shoot. They can shoot. And then even then, I'm just like, I don't see it working well. Because I think Russ eventually is gonna get tired of that. He's going to want to have the ball in his hands, for sure. Now, you would think that these guys will recognize, hey, we got a bigger goal in mind. We just got to make it work. And I think they will try to make it work. I just think it just won't work well together. Russ can't shoot. James, he needs the ball to really get into the groove. Now, look, I know Chris was the main point guard, and James didn't have the ball a nice amount of times, but we know James like to be the primary ball handler. And while I think getting rid of Chris Paul, moving Chris Paul was a good thing for them, and they got slightly better, this move does not equate to a championship move. It doesn't. I said that moving Chris Paul was a nice decision just because Chris seems to be descending. We've all seen it. We have all witnessed his decline. And as great as Chris is, we've witnessed his decline, and he's declining. But I still think he's a very, very good guard. Very, very good point guard. He's just not the same same superstar he used to be. But even when you put these two superstars together, you still got to factor in coaching. Can Mike D'Antoni, we know he can do things on the offensive end. I never doubt his offensive prowess. Although I don't like, some sets he calls and stuff like that. But yeah, like I know he can do some things offensively, but defensively, can he bring it together? Can he motivate these guys? Can he be the ultimate motivator to get them over the hump? I don't know if you can do it with Mike D'Antoni. I really don't. I'm not sure. I'm gonna watch it though. It's gonna be exciting. And look, they can be a scary team, no doubt, because they have two prolific guys. They are just known to score and affect the game in good ways. But one guy, playoff performance is not always there. James Harden, and Russell the same way. Russell for real. He thinks so highly of himself, and every basketball player needs that confidence and bravado. But he thinks that he's out to prove everybody wrong so much. He carries such a chip on his shoulder. He'll fall right into your game plan to show you I can overcome this, instead of just playing to avoid your game plan. Playing to not even fall into your trap. He'll fall into your trap on purpose to prove to you that he can do it. And it's no time for that in the playoffs, man. I don't know. They're going to be exciting, but I don't see them beating either LA team. I don't see them beating the Clippers nor the Lakers. I'm sorry, I just don't. Denver can be scary for them. Portland can be scary with a big man like Hassan Whiteside, for sure. But I don't know. They might get past. They can get past Denver. They can get past Portland. But I don't see them getting past the Clippers or the Lakers. It's over with for that. Finito. And I ain't hating them. I'm just calling it how I see it, man. I love to watch basketball, period. But I feel like I watched a lot, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will come on here and say that I was wrong. I'm not afraid of being wrong at all, nor am I afraid of y'all criticizing me or whatever. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. But yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't. And let me say this: I like to be wrong. I like for them to prove me wrong. I like for them guys to achieve something in their career that they can be that will put their legacy in another realm, because I already feel like both of these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. Russ with just like, he's the triple-double machine he is, and just, Russ is an icon, a living icon. The average of triple-double in 3 straight seasons in the modern era is incredible. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you take into factor how explosive he is and how dynamic. All of that, it's just how he plays above the rim. He's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, strictly off that type of stuff. He's a legend. He's an icon for those things. But, and same thing with James Harden too. James is a guy that can fill it up like no other. His offensive abilities have been compared to Michael Jordan's. Seriously, it has been. I don't think it should, but James is he has a knack for scoring the basketball. Even if it's by going to the free throw line, if you think the step back is a travel, which he does travel a lot on that, it don't matter though. James still is a dynamic scorer. He can fill it up. He can put that ball in the bucket like as good as anybody I've seen recently. Seriously. So they both gonna be first ballot Hall of Famers. If they get that chip and get to that promised land, their legend will go to another level. So I'm hoping they work. I'm hoping that it works out for them. I don't see it realistically. I don't see it. Between me and y'all, I don't see it happening. Y'all can tell me what y'all think, but nah. I say they get to the second round. They either run into the Clippers, the Lakers, or even if they go to the finals and they avoid one of the LA teams until the Western Conference Finals. I don't see them beating none of them LA teams. I just don't. Nah, I don't see it at all. So I just think them guys will be able to play better, a little bit better basketball than James and Russell. People think James and Russell gonna shock us. Hey, if it does, good for them, man. I'm not rooting against that. I just don't see it happening at all. Besides filling up seats and being entertaining and giving some teams some scares, that's it for the Houston Rockets. Machiavelli Mills TV. Peace.